Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Stories with the Missed you guys. Welcome back. So today we're going to take a very quick look at the Reverend Father Mbaka story that has been trending online for like the past 2 days. And I want to give my take on it. So Reverend Father, as we all know, has come out to say that Peter Obi is too stingy to be the president or to run as president or to become the president of Nigeria. And this has caused a lot of reactions, a lot of disapproval of the statement, lots of disappointment expressed by so many people because of this singular statement. And some of you might be wondering, why would Reverend Father Mbaka even say that? He said that because he expected Peter Obi to put something down in the church during a bazaar, and Peter Obi declined because he only wanted to help the church out with a project instead of dropping money cash at the event, which now made Reverend Father to they kind of went back and forth. Reverend Father was trying to have him drop some money, but he was insisting on wanting to handle the project, which makes sense. But this statement now has caused a lot of uproar, like disapproval, disappointment, and all sorts of mixed reactions. There were those who were against people talking about Reverend Father having gone after Peter Obi like that, and there were those who were against the Reverend Father, saying he should have remained in his priestly lane and leave politicians to do their things and not meddle or interfere, which also makes sense. As a result, a lot of videos have been out there condemning what he said, especially from folks from the eastern region of Nigeria. They were like, no, they should be supporting each other, at least now that there is a candidate to represent that region. All the religious leaders should be supportive of his ambition, and considering that a lot of youths are actually liking the Peter Obi movement and standing up and sitting down and doing all sorts of things for Peter Obi, all in the name of their support and all that. It actually does make sense for people to get angry and disapprove of what Reverend Father has said. But I am of a little bit different opinion. I want to comment from another angle completely, that I do not really see this perspective being addressed in the public or on the media. Okay, from the video where Peter Obi had declined to drop any form of cash at the bazaar event, but instead wanted to take on a project, I saw in Reverend Father a form of disappointment, because what he was expecting was cash. That led him to saying what he said. I also see these days that a lot of people are coming on social media to say that they are obedient, they stand for Peter Obi, they sit for Peter Obi, and all sorts of hashtags Peter Obi, which is very noble. And I understand and I get where people are coming from. We've been under leadership of very much more elderly people, and right now we just want something fresh, something new, something different, which makes sense. But I just want to let a lot of people know that standing for Peter Obi goes beyond just putting things on your social media handles and declaring you actually stand for Peter Obi. It is by far more than that. It also goes beyond going to get your PVC, because a lot of people think, oh, all I need to do is just get my PVC and cast my vote, and then Nigeria will be okay, or the change we want to see will begin to happen. No. A lot of us are going to be disappointed, like Reverend Father Mbaka. If this actually does happen, the Stand for Peter Obi movement that is really, really trendy, if it eventually happens, a lot of us will be disappointed. Now, before you all come after me to start chopping my head on the chopping board, let me explain what I mean by that. This is what I mean. For a leader like Peter Obi, the kind of leadership and change we want to see with his administration or his leadership style, based on his history, his record, and his resume. This change we're clamoring for, a lot of us are not ready for the change yet. Because if really this change is to happen, if really this change is to happen, it will take a lot of sacrifice from everybody, not just Peter Obi. Peter Obi alone cannot change Nigeria. Nigerians have to help Peter Obi change Nigeria. And this is what I mean by that. If Peter Obi is supposed to run the government or run his administration like he has always done, that resume that we saw and we feel like looks so good and we like it and we want to adopt it on a national level, if that kind of administration should begin from the top, a lot of people are not going to like it. Yeah, because there has been this kind of mentality shift from what ought to be normal to abnormal that we have actually made normal, if that makes sense. Things that should not be have been normalized and we have accepted to a large extent. Let me give you one example. Okay, there is a contract on ground for let's say renovation of a hospital in your area, and then like seven, 6, 8 people are bidding for that contract. The norm is that whoever is able to like walk his way through whichever office is handling that contract is most likely gonna get it. But if we want to do things the Peter Obi way, it's not going to work like that. It has to be the person with the right budget, the person that will deliver on the project, not necessarily who can like walk their way up through the back door. So are we actually ready to make this kind of sacrifice? Go through the due process the right way, not really going through the back way, because this is going to step on a lot of people's toes. And most of those people are those saying, I stand for Peter Obi, I am obedient, I am this, I am that, Obi this, Obi that. Are you ready? Or are you willing to make that kind of sacrifice? If you were to go for an interview and your uncle is a maybe local government chairman or a senator there, but then you're not qualified for that job and there are other candidates who are qualified, and your uncle says you need to like hold on, maybe next year, would you be okay with that? Would you not come back to say, oh, my uncle is stingy with his job? Would you not come back and say stuff like that? Like, really, we need to like understand what it is we want and the sacrifices that it will require of us to get it. Would you be okay if a contractor would deliver on a contract of renovating the hospital in your village so that your grandma, when she falls sick, will have somewhere reasonably equipped enough to be treated when she's sick, than for your uncle to take that contract or your friend to take that contract and squander the money and not deliver on the project? You know, like someone close to home where you can benefit from that money. The person would deliver on the project, but at the end of the day, you may not get anything. Would you be okay with that? So while you're trying to stand with Peter Obi, just begin to analyze what it is you're standing for. Because a lot of us are already used to what the administration has always been, the way things have been run. Like, we are used to that. What's this word I'm looking for? You know how corruption is eating deep into the fabric? It's not just at the top. It comes right straight from the top to the bottom. And even people at the bottom are also doing all sorts of unimaginable things. But if this is going to stand, if the change we want is going to happen, then everybody needs to start doing things right. Are you ready to stand for the truth? Are you ready to do the right things? Because we were all so quick to judge Reverend Father Mbaka because of the statement he made. But that is because we're not yet in his shoes. Like all the scenarios I've painted. You get what I'm saying? Awarding contracts to cousins, to brothers, to sisters, and family members who just sit on it. And we don't see anything wrong with it because we're the beneficiaries. And then now we're saying no, we don't want it no more. If we don't want it no more, then that contract will not even land anywhere close to our vicinity in the first place. One more thing, there are so many areas where change needs to happen. For the Nigeria we want to begin to evolve, it is not just about the leaders. There are so many things we need to do on our part. Students these days don't read no more. No. You send your child to the university, some of them are sleeping with lecturers, they're not studying, they're doing all sorts of things, doing expo just to pass. And when they're done with school, there's already like one auntie or one uncle that's already a top shot somewhere who will just feed them in. And there'll be lots of graduates that are qualified and they're still out there on the street going up and down with envelopes or folders and files, carrying their CV up and down. So if you actually want that change, if you're standing for Peter Obi for real, my dear, you will study. You'll not just go to school and play. You'll not just go get PVC and then go and sleep. No, you have to stand for what is right for you to see the kind of Nigeria you want to see. You take money that is meant for community project. You take it, you go and give your pastor. Did you actually think Peter Obi could not write Reverend Father Mbaka a check at that point? He could. But he's not the kind of leader that will just spend money without thinking of the implication of what the money should do. Like if it is a project, there's no rush in completing a project. So it could be maybe like 100,000 today, 200 tomorrow, 1 million tomorrow, stuff like that. But if you begin to declare in public and you give us first, that check will be announced. Oh, Reverend Peter Obi has given 10 million naira, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. He knows what he's doing. When we begin to see leaders like that, are we going to accept them? Or it is the same us that are standing for them that will now start insulting them that they are stingy? Would you be okay if you went to church and you sat with your commissioner of whatever, and he sat next to you in church, and after church you were like twirly or whatever it is you say to the man, and he says bless you, he doesn't give you 1 naira? Would you not be the same person that will say he's stingy? Reverend Father Mbaka has apologized to Peter Obi and to all his supporters and to everybody who felt offended about what he said, which is noble and honorable. I'm just wanting to know, all these people that are coming after him, after the Reverend Father, are you sure you're not hypocritical? Because the Nigeria of today, the way it is, cannot accommodate Peter Obi with his leadership style. Cannot. Until we begin to change how we think and not like this consumer mentality of just now, here and now, let me just get the money here and now, Think long term. I'll be closing this video out with a question. Are you sure you're not like Reverend Father Mbaka? Are you willing to make the sacrifices that is required to make the Peter Obi you're standing for run his administration successfully? Are you ready? you still stand for Peter Obi, knowing now that it will not be an easy ride? So do you actually think Peter Obi can rule Nigeria with the way our mentality is so messed up? So the Diocese of Enugu has come out to say that they are not in support of what Reverend Father Mbaka has been saying about Peter Odili online and in person, and it just shows how it makes sense for maybe men of God or man of God to always like reconsider before you say some of these words that can influence people's decision, especially when it comes to political issues. Now, I hope this all goes down well. Although he has tendered his apology, I hope all this plays out well for him. Anyways, guys, that's it about the entire Reverend Father Mbaka story today. Let me know what you think and what your opinions are in the comment section. Thank you for sticking with me today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.